Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today's lecture is about the acids, bases and salts. It is the third lecture of the unit 10. In this we will learn about the methods for measuring the pH of the solution. Scientists have used different methods for measuring the pH of the solution. The first method you will learn about it will be the pH paper or use of the universal indicator paper. In this picture you can see it is the chart paper and of different colors, and each color is given a specific pH. So how we can use the pH paper? We just dip the pH paper in the given solution to find out its pH, and this solution will develop a particular color, and that color of the pH paper will be matched with this chart paper, and this chart paper having different colors with a range of the pH. The color matched with that pH paper will indicate the color of that solution. In this way we can measure the pH of the solution. Second method is by using the litmus paper. Use of litmus paper gives us a general indication whether a solution is basic in nature, acidic, or it is the neutral. You have learned about there are two types of the litmus paper, red litmus paper and the blue litmus paper. Acid turns the blue litmus paper into the red. It means when you will dip the blue litmus paper in an acidic solution, the solution will turn red. This will indicate that the solution is acidic in nature. But if the solution acidic solution do not have any effect on the red litmus paper. In the same way, when you will put the red litmus paper in the base will turn litmus paper into the blue color, and these bases do not affect the blue litmus paper. So acid turns the blue litmus paper red and the basis turns the red litmus paper blue. It is the general indication. It didn't show any specific pH. It just show whether the solution is acidic or the basic. Third method is the use of acid base indicator. Indicators are actually the intense colored organic substances. They are organic in nature and they produce a fast color in the solution. And they have different color in the acidic media and in the basic media. So it means when we will pour some one drop of indicator in the solution, some color will be developed and the color will be matched. It will have the particular pH. Here three examples are given for your understanding. First one is the methyl red. At pH 5.5 it changes its color. If it is in the acidic solution it will develop a red color, and if it is in the basic solution it will produce the yellow color. Second example is of the bromothymol blue. This bromothymol blue at pH 7 it will have yellow color in the acidic solution and it will show the blue color in the basic solution. Phenolphthalein is of the pink color in the basic solution and it is colorless in the acidic solution, and it changes its color at the pH 9. What is the importance of this pH in daily life? Application of pH are very adverse. To create the soil conditions ideal for the plant growth. Plants grow at varying pH. It cannot grow over a very you can say that at very low pH or at very high pH. So there will be the moderate conditions for the plant growth. It will have the particular pH range on which the plants can grow easily. So to create the soil conditions ideal for the plant growth, we use this pH. In medical diagnosis, pH has its application. and maintaining the correct acid-base balance in the swimming pools. In the swimming pools, mostly the pH range is from 7.2 to the 7.6. Below this pH and above this pH, what happens if the pH will be below 7.2 or if the pH is more than the 7.6? It will cause the eyes irritation. So to stop this eyes irritation, pH of the swimming pool is considered at a particular range. In electroplating, this pH have its application, and in the same way in the manufacture of medicine, biochemist, this pH is very helpful for the biochemists in manufacturing of the medicine. What is etching? Etching is an art that uses acid to carve the pattern into the metal or glass. In our daily life, you have often seen that there are some very beautiful patterns are carved over the metals or over the glass things. So how can this etching will carried out? Actually, this piece of the metal or glass is covered with the wax. Then a beautiful pattern will be carved over that metal or the glass. Then this is dipped into the acidic tank. Now what happens when it will be dipped in the acidic tank? Acid will eat away the exposed portion, and there will be only left behind is the textured things. Textured marks will be there. Then this plate is taken out of the acid and it is cleaned, and after cleaning there will be the carved pattern will be cleared there. So to make this carved pattern more beautiful, we can paint it or we can apply the ink over there to make it more beautiful. An acid contains the replaceable hydrogen atom, and when this hydrogen atom from the acid is replaced partially or completely by a metal atom, a new compound is formed that is called the acid. Just like in this example of hydrogen chloride, you can see that hydrogen can be replaced by a metal atom. Here this hydrogen is replaced by the sodium metal, and new formed compound is sodium chloride, that is a salt. Salts are ionic compounds. The first part of the salt is the positively charged, that is the metal, and second part comes from the acid, that is the negatively charged. Just like in the sodium chloride, sodium is the metallic part containing the positive charge, and chloride it is the negatively charged and it comes from the acid or on the name of the acid from which it comes. Here a few examples are given to show you. Just like the acid is the hydrogen chloride, hydrogen is replaced by some metallic atom just like sodium, potassium or calcium, and then the new salt formed, that will be the sodium chloride or the potassium chloride or calcium chloride depending on the metallic atom. Second example is the nitric acid HNO3. In this, hydrogen is replaced by the metallic atom, and then the new salt formed is the sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate or calcium nitrate. In the same way, sulfuric acid, when hydrogen is replaced from this sulfuric acid and this hydrogen is replaced by some metallic atom, then respective sulfate salts are formed, just like sodium sulfate, potassium sulfate, calcium sulfate. And last example is of the phosphoric acid. In the phosphoric acid, hydrogen is replaced by the metallic atom and respective phosphates will be formed. Neutralization is the specific term that is used for the reaction between an acid and a base. When an acid and base react together, the product is always a salt and a water. Actually, this neutralization reaction is between the hydrogen ions from the acid and hydroxide ions from the base. When these two react together, then water is formed, and this reaction is called the neutralization reaction. As you have seen here that hydrogen chloride and sodium hydroxide react together and it produces the sodium chloride and water. How this water is formed? This water is formed by the reaction of hydrogen ions from the hydrogen chloride and hydroxide ions from the sodium hydroxide. When these hydrogen and hydroxide ions combine together, then water is formed, and this specific reaction is called the neutralization reaction. There are three types of the salt. First one, acidic salt, normal salt and basic salts. Well, now what is the difference between these three salts? In the acidics, as you have learned that the salts are formed by replacing of the hydrogen atoms from the acids by a metallic atom. Acidic salts are formed by the partial neutralization of an acid. It means from the acid, when hydrogen is removed, complete hydrogen atoms are not removed by the metallic atom, but partial removal of the hydrogen atoms produces the acidic salt. Just like in the carbonic acid and sodium hydroxide, when these two react together, this sodium metal replaces only one hydrogen atom from the carbonic acid, and result is the sodium hydrogen carbonate salt is formed. In this sodium hydrogen carbonate, you can see that one hydrogen is again present. This shows the partial neutralization of the hydrogen atoms from the carbonic acid, and when the salt is formed by the partial neutralization of the acid, such types of salts are called the acidic salts. Second example is of the normal salts. Normal salts are formed by the complete neutralization of an acid. Just like you can see here, sodium hydrogen carbonate salt has one replaceable hydrogen atom in it. When this one replaced hydrogen atom is removed by some metallic atom, just like sodium atom from the sodium hydroxide, then product is the sodium carbonate. This sodium carbonate didn't contain any replaceable hydrogen atoms, so this sodium carbonate is considered as the normal salts. So the normal salts are formed by the complete neutralization of an acid. Third type is of the basic salts, and these basic salts are formed by the partial neutralization of polyhydroxy base. Polyhydroxy base means hydroxide ions are present in the base, and when these hydroxide ions of the base react with some acid, then the product will contain a salt which will have the hydroxide ion in it. So these kind of salts which have the hydroxide ions in it, they are called the basic salts. When zinc hydroxide react with the hydrogen chloride acid, the product is the zinc hydroxychloride and water. This zinc hydroxychloride, it has the one hydroxide ion in it, so zinc hydroxychloride is a basic salt. Here few methods are given for the salt making. First one is the typical neutralization reaction, in which an acid reacts with the base and product is the salt and water. Example of this is the hydrogen chloride react with sodium hydroxide and the product is the sodium chloride and water. Second is when acid react with a metal oxide, then the product is again salt and water. Just like the sulfuric acid, when it reacts with the copper oxide, this copper replaces the hydrogen from the sulfuric acid and the product is the copper sulfate and water. In third, you can see that an acid reacts with the metal and the product is the salt and hydrogen gas is released during this reaction. Just like hydrogen chloride, when it reacts with the magnesium, this magnesium will replace the hydrogen from the hydrogen chloride and product will be the magnesium chloride salt and hydrogen will be released. Fourth method is the reaction between the acid and metal carbonate, and the product will be a salt and water, and during this reaction carbon dioxide gas will be released. Hydrogen chloride, when it react with the calcium carbonate, this calcium will replace the hydrogen from the hydrogen chloride and the product will be salt, that is calcium chloride and water, and carbon dioxide will be released during this reaction. Last method is the reaction between the two salts. When two salts will react together, again the product will be the two salts and there will be ion exchange during this. Just like silver nitrate when react with the sodium chloride, what will happen? This sodium replace the silver. As a result, sodium nitrate is formed and silver chloride will be formed. These two salts, silver nitrate and sodium chloride, exchange their ion, and as a result our product is also the two salts, that is the silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Thank you very much.